Hi there, Dave Rawlings here of the London Longsword Academy. Today, an extremely quick flashback review. Today I want to have a look at the Spes glove. Now, you probably know that I have been using the Pro Gauntlets an awful lot, and I really like Pro Gauntlets. They're incredibly good. Dexterity is amazing. Like I say, they feel like you're cheating. However, I went back to fighting with these today. It's been a little while since I've tried them in sparring. And again, I want to make some of the same observations that I have made before. Now, there's always been a little bit of criticism about Spes in that the gloves around the thumb perhaps don't protect as much as they could, and they have worked to improve that. If you can see here, they've put a little bit more padding on this, and I think there might even be some new improvements since I got this model. Now, that doesn't mean that your thumb is impervious. It doesn't mean that any part of your hand is impervious. But again, I'd like to go back to these same principles as I've spoken about with fencing masks and various other pieces of protective equipment, that really they want to be something to protect you against accidental blows rather than somebody trying to crack you as hard as possible. And there's too much emphasis, in my opinion, on hitting really hard, when it should be a case of your protective gear can be relatively light and be good enough to protect you because you are both using understanding that you are both using control. And if that respect is there, then obviously things can work to a higher degree of technicality, which is really what we want to see within HEMA. So I would like to say that I still love these gloves. I sparred with them again today, and one of the problems I think people perceive they have with them is one of dexterity. And really this is an illusion, and this is something that I mentioned in my previous video about the Spes gloves, that because there's a lack of sensitivity, because you have the mitten feel, and because you have this quite thick leather protection that I'll come back to in a little bit, it can feel a loss of dexterity in the hand, and as a result you tend to grip the sword a lot too tight. Now, I came back to using these, as I say, for the first time in a long time, and I didn't have that feeling anymore. It was very strange. I was very able to hold the sword with a good amount of dexterity, to turn it with comfort, and to change my grip, to thwart, to whichever move I wanted to do, to squinting. So again, a lot of this is in your mind. You grip too tight because you can't feel so much. So, in short, particularly for the price point, I still think that the heavy glove from Spes is an absolute godsend. I think they're wonderful gloves for what you get for them. Again, do not expect them to be perfect, because no glove is. There is going to be ways where I remember clocking someone on the underside with a rising blow and it hitting them in the finger, and that's really unfortunate. It's still going to hurt. One thing I think that Spes do very well, and this is true of their jackets and it's also true of their gloves, I really dislike gloves that in general, and I will make a slight exception here for the Pro Gauntlet because the protection on the glove overall is so good that you can close your hand very securely around the sword. But in a lot of gloves of this particular nature is you have to have a separate glove for the inside. And I see people even wearing these without a lining glove. And that is really dangerous. You see shots going into the spaces all the time, and I accidentally hit people in the spaces all the time. Spes sew this liner in, and this should be an absolute must. This should not be up for discussion. There should not be these big spaces and things where you have to rely on someone's sensibility that they're going to get the right glove, unless you are saying you must get yourself a really safe glove to put inside this. And again, Spes, I think, do this so well. So if you want something that is affordable and is pretty damn protective and is in fact more dexterous than you might think, I would always go back to recommending the Spes Heavies. Okay. The only thing I would say about these as well is do be prepared to get yourself a smaller size glove than you expect to. Nearly everybody that I've worked with in the club who has used these gloves has said that having a smaller glove has been much better for them. And I personally always use a very small glove now. So this is actually just the small, and it's absolutely perfect. So again, very much recommended if you haven't got the money to get yourself something like a Pro Gauntlet. Bear in mind, by the way, Pro Gauntlets are going to be relatively high maintenance, I feel. I certainly have to sort of field check them every time before I go into sparring to make sure that they're good, and they are excellent. I love the Pro Gauntlet, believe me. But these, do not forget about them. They are a fantastic glove, and I desperately enjoy using them. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey there. You may be interested to know that every single one of the London Longsword Academy's group lessons is available to join online. So you can actually go to www.swordfightonline.com and you can join our lessons on a Michele Morozzo side sword, on sword and buckler, on Gerard Thibault's rapier system, on Myers Dusac, on longsword at the moment, again doing Healy Morozo, and also Verdadera from Patuco and also from Viedma. So if you want to join us, have a look, check out the website, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Take care.